Okay. So I think first question, I think on a lot of people's minds, I mean, you get a script that says she learns she has cancer, and she's young, and she's just starting her life, and especially with her job and her boyfriend. Where do you find the inspiration and kind of the attitude to say, like, I need to play her as a woman who doesn't get completely crushed by this news?
A lot of it comes from the great writing, honestly. When I'm not, I mean, sometimes I'll have an instinct and ask if maybe I could try it that way, and we do it, and sometimes it's used and sometimes it's not. But fundamentally, I feel like I'm getting off really easy because I'm just being myself in the character, which is also terrifying because putting that much of myself out there and not knowing how it's actually going to turn out was really, really scary. I'm so thankful that everybody's been so receptive, but. With the writing and just playing it as honestly as I can, it's tough sometimes, but it's so rewarding, and it's so worth hearing that these people feel like they're being well represented and appreciated and given a voice.
When you read things like in the most recent episode where she is going to consider putting treatment on hold just because she wants to find out more about infertility and what it means, and maybe she's going to consider what treatment she does because of that. Do you kind of get that, understand that mindset immediately, or do you find that you have to dig a little deeper?
There are times where I get annoyed with April, as the audience will, and times when she's going to make a mistake, but that's life. Everybody does it, and you don't always have an audience watching you telling you you're about to do something stupid. But
do you feel like those are mistakes, or do you feel like, well, I think a lot of people in that situation...
I feel like maybe she's not accepting the brevity of the situation, but I feel like that's not unusual and that's not uncommon. And before last episode, a lot of the fans were getting really pissed off that she wasn't telling anyone, that she wasn't telling her family, and that her mom should know, and they were saying that this was insane and unrealistic. And then I would get private messages from fans telling me their stories and saying, I didn't tell anyone for 3 months.
Right.
I couldn't bear it, and I didn't want to believe it. And so I felt like, okay, yes, the fans were frustrated, but it was real.
Right.
Even if it was only real for 3 people,
right.
At least I told that part of the story right.
Right. And I mean, I do think there's an interesting and inherent debate in that everyone's going to react differently, and there kind of is no right way.
That's sort of why I get to do not what I want, but what my instincts, because I know that there's no one way to play cancer, and so I know that somebody will be able to relate to the reaction that I chose in one way or the other. It may not be fluid through the whole experience, but every episode there'll be somebody who can relate to something.
Right. And the show is doing a really good job about every week kind of showing a different symptom and to show how quickly this can progress when you don't take the treatment. Is there one physical change that you found that was the hardest for you when you were in the makeup, or I know there's a bald cap moment. Was there one for you where it kind of hit you just how much can change so quickly?
Our finale for the season 1A is April's first 7 days in chemo.
Okay.
So I lost a little bit of weight for that, and after I got out of hair and makeup for the role, I just looked in the mirror and just started crying. Like to see literally the life look like it's being sucked out of somebody it was terrifying as a human being for me, like Italia looking in the mirror, and then just feeling so bad for April because you think back to before the pilot, 10 episodes ago, however many, maybe 2 months in the scheme of the show, she had no idea, and it's heartbreaking. It really is, and that's why I feel, when I go home and I can go home and not have cancer, and so many people don't get to do that. They don't get to have a hiatus. They don't get to. So I do feel like I'm going through a lot of what April's going through when I'm filming, but then when I'm not, I just feel so bad because I want to be like, I still get you, and I don't get you, but you know what I mean, and I want to do more, but I don't know how.
Right. Well, you guys did some stuff with the Fuck Cancer charity, right? Like, are you still?
Fuck Cancer was actually before I had the show. I had just booked it. I don't even think we shot the pilot. That's because Stephen Amell's mom is a cancer survivor, and he was like, "Hey, come to this. It'd be great." And we were like, "Yeah, of course."
You just said do more, so maybe there is something you could do there.
Well, yeah, working with American Cancer Society,
Oh,
Stand
okay.
Up to Cancer, Stupid Cancer, Canadian Cancer
So
Society.
all of them.
Anybody who wants me to, I will try and help you as much as I can. I mean, it may just be, saying a few words or donating or something, but,
Right.
or like, signing a picture.
Right.
But I'll do everything that I can because these people are warriors and they're way cooler than I am and deserve way more attention than I do.
That being said, do you, as an actor and a woman and a person who knows about cancer in the real world, do you have strong feelings one way or the other whether or not she does certain treatments? Like, do you personally read scripts and go, if I were April, I would do this, I wouldn't do that?
I've never really thought of that.
Okay.
I think because it's easy to be objective when it's not your problem.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
easy to say, well, that's what I would do, but then you do it and you're like, I don't know what to do. It's not. It's easy to make those judgments when you're so far removed from it.
Okay. Cool. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. I had fun.